Hello, McDude here, and what you're looking at is a Panzer IV. I think it said it's a OSC, whatever that means. Anyway, this is something new and different for the channel. I originally envisioned a aviation channel. I was going to have the one aviation game. That was a nice leap that guy got there. He got some air. But initially I was going to have an aviation channel. I was going to have War Thunder as my airplane game, Kerbal Space Program as my space game. It was going to be a helicopter game, but I can't take on helicopters to run on my computer. So, what the hell is that? So anyway, I got in. Things changed when I got this invitation from War Thunder to go ahead and join closed beta testing for the tank battles. And I had never been a fan of tank games before. I was never interested in them. And I'll tell you why later. Man, it's crazy looking. You see all types in War Thunder. But that's just nuts. And when he drove by, I was like, should I shoot that guy? I mean, what the hell is it? It's just, I don't know why people do stuff like that. And he's sort of driving back there where he can't do anybody any good. He's just useless. And I can't make up my mind whether I should shoot him or not. And if I decide, screw it, I'll go join the fight. But anyway, like I said, I got this invitation to join closed beta testing, and I figured, well, you know, I never really liked tank battles before, but I'll give it a shot. So I went out and I started playing with it. And this is only my second night. This is actually my first time driving the Panzer IV, which is why I kind of suck with it. But I went ahead and I spent 2 nights on it. This from my second night. Both nights I played it for about 2.5 hours. The first night I was entirely in the Panzer II for 2.5 hours. In my very last game, I unlocked this tank. And then the second night, and this is from my first game in this tank, I started playing the Panzer IV. It's actually a terrible tank for what I'm trying to do. I'm attempting to snipe Russian tanks from long range, which you really can't do with a short-barreled gun. But I figure a 75mm gun, and my gun crew, my tank crew speaks English for some reason. My German tank crew speaks English. But anyway, this is a terrible tank to try doing this with because it's an infantry support tank. The short-barreled gun is designed to provide, and we're under artillery attack here, and I pressed the wrong button and ended up in changing views by accident. But where was I? Oh, we're attempting to try to snipe things with this short-barrel gun, and you just can't do that. And the enemy has learned how to use artillery barrages against me, which isn't helping us at all. But me and this other guy are trying to snipe a T-34, and we're having no success. And again, another thing that makes this a terrible tank for this sort of thing is the frontal armor design. There's no sloping to the frontal armor. So you really can't take head-on hits at all. You can't deflect shot. And like I said, you have a short-barrel gun, so you really can't, you don't have accurate fire from long range. It's just a terrible gun to, it's just a really bad idea to try using this tank, which again is an infantry support tank, to try hunting other tanks. Even with this T-34 at short range, and you can't see him here in the replay, but during the game I was using the gun sight, and I can see him perfectly through the gun sight. I can't seem to bring up the gun sight to the replay. Not that War Thunder Replay's system is all that good to begin with, but through tanks, it's a little trickier to work with. But anyway, as you can see, I lost that battle. The guy next to me ended up taking out the T-34. So, I respawn in the same exact location that I did last time. Right around this hill. At least it looks like the same location, I'm not sure. It's nearby. But anyway, I drive down there and there's the bridges I gotta check out behind me, see what's going on. I can't find a way to get on the bridge itself. Apparently, they've cordoned it off so you can't go up there. Which is too bad, because that'd be an excellent high ground to snipe targets from. But what I try to do here, again, this is my first tank with the, my first game with this tank. And driving it is a little tricky. It's a slow tank. It's not very maneuverable. You got to finesse the clutch in order to or change gears very slowly. If you take off in the wrong gear, it moves. It just doesn't want to move. Plus, the tank seems to take damage to the transmission over time. But here, I pull up, and again, I'm trying to snipe something from long range. Use these rocks for cover, and I didn't get very far. I've already taken my first hit. So I throw the thing in reverse, just try getting the hell out of dodge. And that doesn't work. And, yeah. It's just a disaster after that. And I got hosed. Is that the same guy? I think I got hosed by the same guy. Oh, that's embarrassing. Ah, that's so fucking embarrassing. Oh well. Anyway, I thought you'd enjoy another game that I suck at. Next, we're going to go to another battle in closed beta tanks. This was like another battle from the same night. Now, in this one, this is an island that we've invaded because the Germans were always invading the tropics, I suppose. Regardless, it's a nice map. I guess I shouldn't make fun of it. In this game, the Russians had a lot of air support. They had a good 4, maybe 5 planes flying around at one point. The Germans had a couple, but nowhere near as many. I think maybe 1 or 2. The Germans were always at a loss for air support in every game I played. Whereas the Russians, see, there I am. And I'm playing this tank horribly because I just get out there and, you know, make believe I'm a King Tiger and just sit still and just shoot and rely on my armor to... Yeah, I have no armor. I'm just playing the game terribly. Yeah, there you go. And that's what happens when you think you're a King Tiger and you're just a humble Panzer IV. If you look behind me, I'm trying to camera around, you'll see some of the Russian air support overhead. There's the TB3 getting wasted by... Oh, it looks like a collision, actually. I think it was rammed. Anyway, we roll out. And this time I'm a little more cautious than last time, which is just... whatever. I try sniping things from way back here. And one of the things the replay, like I mentioned before, the replay doesn't allow you to show the gun sight view. At least I haven't found it. But I spend most of my time, when you see me sitting like this for a long time, I'm fine-tuning a shot with in gun sight view. But as I mentioned, I was very surprised to get this invitation to closed beta tanks, largely because I only did one of the challenges, and I had forgotten all about it, and I didn't buy a tank pack because I was just going to wait till they came out. I'd never really been interested in tank games before because, as an amateur historian, a World War II historian, I had never got caught up in the glamour of the tanker, of the tank. It was not a glamorous job. You were basically just infantry. You lived the same lifestyle as infantry. You know, the only difference being where infantry was always being targeted with small caliber fire, you were being targeted with large caliber fire. And if you get out of your tank, you're now being targeted with small caliber fire as well. But aside from that, I mean, you pretty much lived a very similar lifestyle. Now look at this airplane. Look at these airplanes are defying physics, particularly these SB2s. And there's two SB2s. And I'll keep the camera on it, and you just watch how sometimes it just does that. It just tumbles over itself like a leaf. And you'll see that a few times. And all of the SB2s did that. Everything else flew like a normal airplane. Anyhow, I get caught up watching the airplane itself because, like I said, it defies all laws of aerodynamics the way it flips around on itself. You'll see it again in a moment. But yeah, the tanker lifestyle was or experience, I should say, was not too better than infantry. I mean, you were surrounded with things that could blow up and catch fire. You had your tank didn't protect you from the cold in the winter or the heat in the summer. You could get third-degree burns touching your own tank if you were in North Africa. In fact, there's a video here on YouTube of Dorsch Africa Corps tankers, and here he comes defying aerodynamics again. But there's a video of these guys cleaning a spot. That's just amazing. Why does that do that? Cleaning a spot in their tank and then frying eggs on it, and then using a spatula to pull the egg off the fender of the tank. And they clean the spot on the fender of the tank, fry eggs on it, and then use a spatula to pick it up and then eat it. And it's just amazing. That's how hot it got in these things. And it's not like an M1 where you had air conditioning or something. There was just no protection from the heat at all. And in the end, at night you slept. You still slept in the dirt. You still shaved in your helmet. You still shit in the woods. I mean, it was just a very difficult lifestyle. I never really saw it as something that I wanted to play a video game about, because at no point does the video games ever capture the realism of tank battles. They just don't. They never do. But that said, I got to tell you, this is fun. I mean, reality aside, and it's probably about as realistic as a video game can get, particularly a video game that doesn't have any infantry, which is why you got to be careful when you pick an infantry support tank like this. You have an infantry support tank, but you have no infantry to support. But but regardless of all those shortcomings in regards to reality, I got to tell you, the game is just fun. It's just fun. It's fun the way the vehicles just mow down. Here comes a T-28. And I spot him, and I hone in on him, take the shot, and well, I got him on the first shot. I did get him on the first shot. Yeah, I one-shotted him. Yeah, I one-shotted the T-28, and then, just to be safe, I put a second round in him. And at this point, I got hit, I think, by a T-50. So I had to roll. And in this game, I mean, someone can take up a position up on you from any direction. And so you have that threat to deal with. Two, there's the aviation threat. I mean, there's a lot of planes up there, and those planes, particularly the bombers, they can just come in and nail you, and they largely, like, okay, here's a bomber, here's an SB2 coming at me, and yeah, I just took a pot shot at him with my main gun. Because why not? And I'm watching him carefully. I'm having issues. If memory serves, I was having issues with my transmission at this point. The transmission in this tank, I find, is very cranky. It's not like the Panzer II, which the transmission is very responsive. Transmission in the Panzer IV is very cranky for some reason. And I don't know if that's a realism thing, if that's something Gaijin put in on purpose, or if it's a bug, or what it is, but it's kind of slow to accelerate, and it also loses its grip when going up hills. But it adds to the ambiance of the game. I mean, like I said, the game is just fun. The airplanes have limitations on them. Even though they look menacing. Oh, here comes the bomber. Here comes the attack on me. Look at this. That's a big bomb. You wasted all those trees, made that big honking crater. And if you don't get a direct hit with an airplane, or pardon me, if an airplane doesn't get a direct hit with its bomb, it doesn't hurt you. I'm just watching the SB2 there for you. But I'll show you the crater. It's a big crater. And that's one of the fun parts of the game, is it leaves this stuff behind. It leaves behind your tracks. It leaves behind dead tanks. If somebody crashes a plane, it leaves that. It leaves, craters from bombs, and the knocked over trees disappear, but that's okay. It's burning junk all over the place. It just adds, it really adds to the feel of the game. And at this point, I think I was just looking for airplanes. Oh, I know what it is. I'm having an issue. This is a replay. I'm having to remember what I did in the game. I played the game last night. I'm having an issue with the tank not wanting to climb up hills. And I'm not sure if it's the transmission, and it's difficult to get it to just want to climb hills. I mean, technically, first you should climb just fine, and I should be able to go up in a second and third. But it just sometimes just doesn't want to go. And whatever that was, I thought it was taken out by someone, that tank over there. And then I thought for a while, well, maybe it's just a dead tank. So I moved on. And you can see where the tank slows down trying to climb that hill. The turret moves in the direction of the mouse pointer. as you're driving around. So sometimes the turret moves off in directions that I don't really intend for it to. Here I am trying to climb what I wouldn't even call a hill. It's just a small incline, and the tank, you see I'm rolling backwards. I'm not in reverse. The tank won't climb this incline. It just, so I try again, I inch up the incline, and I don't know if I've taken damage to the transmission or if this is just their driving model. I don't know. But I'm now in a position where I'm trapped. I can't climb the hill, and that thing rounds the corner. So I take a shot, thought I hit it. Take another shot, thought I hit it. I mean, I'm square. Of course, he rams me, which is very bold. 75mm gun. I hit him point blank. It is his armor's slope, but it's not that great. And I'm aiming at the shot trap just below the gun, where the gun is right over the mantlet. And I should have hit it. I should have popped that turret off. And every shot I took 3 shots at that T-50, I aimed for the shot trap beneath the turret and the mantlet. And every shot either somehow missed. I mean, it didn't even say target undamaged. So, I'll let you be the judge of what happened there. Should one of those shots have killed that T-50, or did I just miss 3 times? Because I don't think I missed. At least not all 3 times, especially in that last shot, where we both hit each other at the same time. But, I don't know, you tell me. If you think one of those shots should have killed him, tell me in the comment section. If I did something wrong, tell me in the comment section. I appreciate that. Now, next up, and this is going to be the rest of this game. At the end of a game, once I'm taken out for the last time, I like to go into spectator mode and watch the other drivers and see what's going on. When I go into spectator mode in the replay, I end up in the Russian SB2s, which I don't know why the replay would put me in the other team's planes. In spectator mode, in the game, it didn't look anything like this whatsoever. We had one guy left on our team. It was another Panzer IV. He was down there approaching one of the things you convert. I forget what they're called at the moment. And he was trying to cap one of the sites. And there was 2 of us, me and another guy left who had also been taken out. And we were both in spectator mode, giving him advice, telling him where everyone was. The other team had a T-50 at large and 2 SB2s. And when I'm in spectator mode here in the replay, I hit the bracket and it takes me from one SB2 to the other SB2. It never takes me to the other team's T-50. It never takes me to my own team's Panzer IV. So I'm guessing that's a bug in the replay system. But the replay system is always weird. Even in War Thunder Aviation, the replay system does strange things. Although it normally doesn't let me see the inside of the airplane or the inside of the pilot's brains or anything like that. So I don't know why I'm seeing that. But looking from here, you see the 2 planes, they fly over the same spot all the time. And they fly over the same spot a lot because they're flying over the Panzer III of ours. They don't have any bombs on them. Because in the game, you have to, if you choose airplanes, that's so creepy the way the pilot disappears like that. If you choose planes in War Thunder Tanks, you drop your bombs and your ammunition does not respawn. It's not like the tanks where they just seem to, the ammunition just goes on. I don't know if the ammunition itself has automatic battlefield reloads. I haven't been alive long enough to use all my ammunition. But and at least in the planes, you got to fly back to your base every time you drop all your bombs. There's the other SB2. So you're always, you got to be very careful and make your hits count. That right there under the wing, that's the Panzer IV. That's on our side. And both these guys are flying over the Panzer IV, and I'm guessing they're giving information to the T-50. They're probably telling the T-50 where to find them. Neither SB2 is going back to reload. There's the other SB2 over there. So I just switched to that airplane. There's the other one. So, just let you know how the game ended. The two planes kept flying over the Panzer IV, kept giving it information, feeding information to the T-50. The T-50 snuck up on the Panzer IV and took him out. I'm not sure where that anti-aircraft fire is coming from. I know there's anti-aircraft guns on some maps, but I never saw them on this one. Another thing about the game I don't quite understand is I get these messages in the Panzer IV that my machine gunner is dead, but I haven't seen a machine gun on the tank yet. So I don't know what that's all about. Now, after my last time out in the Panzer IV and finding myself under the gun of Soviet close air support, and having no close air support at all from my own side, I decided this time to take on the job of providing CAS for the German side. Unfortunately, if there's two countries that I never play in War Thunder Aviation, it's the Russians and the Germans. Consequently, I don't have the tank-busting Stukas or the IL-2s that you need to provide proper close air support. In fact, in the Germans, I usually play the Italians because they're very unique-looking airplanes. Believe me, I don't play the Italians because they're really good, except for the SM.79, which is a very capable medium-range bomber. I don't know what happened with the replay there, though, but it's a very capable medium-range bomber. Carries a good-sized payload. It's fast. It's reasonably maneuverable for a medium-range bomber, and it's very unique looking. But anyway, I took it out, and as you can see, War Thunder or Gaijin lights up the battle area where the tanks are fighting in a lighter color than the surrounding terrain to make it easy to find the battlefield. You can enter and exit the battlefield at will. I already dropped my load in the first pass. I took out a AAA site. Later, I did take out 2 targets. I did get a tank, and I got an enemy assist, I think, on another tank. But here I make the last target. I try out last sweep. I try out the machine guns, see what type of effect they have, if anything. I think I'm targeting I think it's a T-28 that I'm shooting at. And then it's time to return to base to rearm. This is realistic battles. By the way, I forgot to mention that. And in realistic battles, well, it's just like aviation realistic battles. Every time you drop your bomb load, you have to return to base to rearm. And at this point, I'm on egress from target, heading out, leaving the battlefield here, returning to base to rearm. Now, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to speed up the film about 4 times normal speed. You know what flying over hills looks like. You know how to land and take off and, wait to rearm and all that stuff. But the airfield was not located far from the battlefield. So the flight is rather short. Although I'm kind of low coming in. I just touched down just at the end of the strip. It looks kind of funny accelerated like this. So we're going to restart up, return to battlefield. The flight back is short and uneventful. Again, they didn't put you that far. They don't put the airfield that far away from the battlefield. Even though enemy aircraft could fly out of the battlefield and try to attack you at your airfield or try to attack you outside of the tank battlefield, they didn't do it. In fact, they actually haven't bothered me at all. They've been too busy trying to shoot down or trying to, bomb tanks. When I come back in, and the biggest challenge you're going to find providing close air support over the tank battlefield is finding targets. It's very difficult to pick targets out. I had a tank there. I devoted 3 bombs to him. But it's very difficult, or 2 bombs. But it's very difficult to pick out which tanks are which. It's difficult to identify the enemy. There's a good chance of fratricide in the game. It's also kind of tricky to figure. There's no way of figuring out whether a tank is just has been abandoned, has broken down. If it's, they don't all catch fire when they burn down. When they get disabled. Obviously, they do when they burn down. But they don't all catch fire when they get disabled. So you could very well be bombing a tank, pardon me, that has already been taken out. Any aircraft is always a threat, even though you don't know what's shooting at you. Tank is coming up. And I put 3 bombs in that guy. And it doesn't say that I got him. So I guess not. And I actually never saw the recognition for one of the kills, but I know at the end screen it said that I did. And that's it. These battles are often rather quick. I was on my way out to rearm, returning to base, when the game ended. And that's it. That is my second night and my first flight in War Thunder Tanks, closed beta testing. I hope you enjoyed it. There's going to be more tank videos on the way. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and light up that like button and subscribe.